time, I talked about the first 4 of our 5 relationship rules. If you haven't seen that one already, go watch it. I'll wait. Just hurry. Welcome back. To recap what we learned last week, it's been more than a week. The first 4 rules of our relationship are 1, be honest. 2, fight fair. 3, don't be boring. And 4, try. And now, rule number 5, respect each other's sovereignty. This basically means respecting your partner's independence and their ability to make their own choices. As in, they get to decide what they eat, or what they wear, or how they live their lives, even if you think you know better, even if you do know better. Because they're their own person. Of course, especially in an ADHD relationship, respecting your partner's sovereignty is not always easy. When I use a knife to get toast out of a toaster or climb up on a chair to hang something, and that chair has wheels, Edward gets concerned. When Edward stays up all day and night working and wants to keep going the next day, I am so tempted to turn off his computer and insist he go to bed. And that's understandable. For situations like that affect the person's safety or well-being, we invented something called a boyfriend pass or girlfriend pass. It goes like this. When we ask for one and the other person agrees, we get to make reasonable requests like, please don't stay awake for 2 days straight, and please unplug the toaster before sticking metal objects into it. But sometimes it's not a safety or well-being issue. It's just that they're not doing the thing you want or need them to do. That's when you have to remember that your partner is a separate person, not an extra arm you've acquired. And that is hard. And it gets harder as the relationship gets more long-term and you move in together and you start a family, or in our case, a show, because suddenly their decisions affect you. Edward having a million different projects going at once was fine and even fun when we first started dating, but now it means that our show doesn't go up on time or the dishes don't get done. It's hard for me not to start rattling off solutions at him when I see him struggling to get started, especially when I know it's gonna put us behind. And it's hard to be patient while he figures out a way to manage his time in a way that works for him, not the way that works for me. But I do have to respect his sovereignty, and not just because it's one of our rules. Parent-child dynamics in which partners try to manage each other are really bad for relationships. Does that mean my needs have to go neglected? Of course not. I really do need to have a regular show schedule so I don't get so anxious about when a video is going to go up or when I need to do what to make that happen. And it really does make it hard for me to start writing the next one and stay on schedule myself when I keep looking over Edward's shoulder wondering about how this week's video is doing. It's completely valid that I need something to change, but I don't get to change him. He has his own goals and ambitions and way of working, and who he is the man I fell in love with. To keep it that way and stick to the rules that have made our relationship the best I've ever been in, I recommitted to rule number 5 and decided to change things that are within my control. I found a place that's not our apartment to work so that I can get things done without getting distracted by what Edward is doing. Or not doing.
Love you!
Love you too! And he has the space to work at his own pace. Edward has worked a lot of long hours helping me make this show awesome, and while it's incredibly cool of him to do it, it's not really fair for me to expect him to drop everything and edit as soon as I'm ready for him to. So I started getting the episodes to him earlier. I decided to create a production schedule for myself that doesn't depend on his. I'm going to set the videos to post on Thursdays, and if a video's not ready in time because I keep needing Edward's help with something else, or he's taking extra time to build cool graphics for it, or he's busy with his other job, or busy recovering, I'll post it the next week and use that week to catch up on research and responding to messages and finding other ways to help the ADHD tribe. But what if me not micromanaging him makes it so he never finishes a video? Well, he also has to follow our rules, and this is where they turn into an awesome system of checks and balances. He has to, rule number 4, try to hold up his end of the bargain and get the edits done without me breathing over his shoulder. And if it turns out that he's just not as available to help out with the show as he has been in the past, he has to, rule number 1, be honest with me about it so that we can get some extra help, or I can learn how to do it myself. Either way, the show will go on, and so will our relationship. Again, these are just the relationship rules Edward and I follow. They may not work for you, but I think having a talk with your partner about what you expect from your relationship does help you create one in which both of your needs get met. That's it for this week. Let me know what rules you follow in your relationship. Comment below or hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. If you like this episode, subscribe. And if you love this episode and want to help me make more, consider donating to my Patreon page, like these brains did. Thank you to all my Patreon brains for supporting this show. Without your help, I'd be working so much between the show and my day job that we'd never have time for things like date night. See you next week. Bye, brains. Is it done? Can I come down now? This is a lot of work for a callback joke.
Sorry it took me so long. The traffic was a nightmare getting here.
I don't care! Rule number 4!
Oh, I don't know if I can make it rule number 1!